Today's lesson is on solving word problems with one steps. One recommendation I do before we start is that as I am explaining, just listen to my explanation. And once I get to a break, maybe at the bottom of each section, pause your computer and then write down the information. So let's get started. So when we're struggling with word problems, when we're reading word problems, you have to have some sort of a pattern that you follow through. The pattern that I'm going to show you today is called guess, and each one of these letters stands for something that you are going to do. So the G stands for the given information that you want to identify as you read the question. The U stands for your unknown that you also want to identify, but that is going to become your variable that you're going to solve for as well. The E stands for an equation that you are going to write based on your given information and the unknown. So you're going to write your equation. The S is going to be solving that equation. And then the last S is you're going to substitute back into the problem to make sure that your solution is correct. Okay, so I'm going to run through each one of these steps in these problems down here. If you want to, you can pause the computer and copy down that first, and then we'll get started. So the first one says the perimeter of a square is 44 centimeters. Find the length of each side of the square. I'm going to draw a line down the center here. My given is that the perimeter is 44 centimeters. And then it's also given that it's a square. So I know a square has 4 equal sides. Okay, so that's my given. My unknown is the length of the sides. Side length. So my equation that I'm going to come and put over here, my equation is I could do it 2 different ways. I know that all sides are the same, so I could go 4 times S, and that would equal 44. The other way that you could do it is you could add S plus S plus S plus S equals 44. And then when you combine like terms, you would get this. And now I'm going to solve my equation. When we're multiplying 4 times the side, the inverse operation of multiplying is dividing. So I need to divide by what I'm multiplying. Since I'm multiplying 4 times the side, I'm going to divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 gives us 1. These cancel out, and you get 1 side is equal to 44 divided by 4 would be 11. So 11 centimeters. So our solution here is each side is 11 centimeters. If I were to substitute it back in, you would do 4 times 11. Does that equal 44? And yes, it does, so we know that we are correct. If you want to pause your computer and write that one down, I'm going to skip number 2. You could do number 2 for practice. I'm going to go to number 4. So in this one, again, I'm going to draw my line down the center. It says Wendy worked 32 hours in all from Monday to Friday. So our given, she worked 32 hours Monday through Friday. She worked 7 hours each day from Monday to Thursday. So she worked 7 hours Monday through Thursday, which is 4 days. Okay. How many hours did she work? So there's my unknown. My unknown, how many hours did she work on Friday? I'm just going to write Friday hours. Put a question mark there. So with our given information of she worked a total of 32 hours, and then she worked 7 hours, 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, we can set up our equation, right? So the equation that we would set up is, if she worked a total of 32 hours, I want to put equals 32. And then I'm going to put the amount that she worked Friday. So I'm going to go Friday plus the 7 times 4. All right, so our equation's here. So Friday plus 7 times 4 equals 32, because we're looking for how much she worked on Friday. We know that Monday through Thursday she worked 28 hours, and the total is going to be 32 hours. So when we solve this, I'm going to 7 times 4 is 28 is equal to 32. And then the inverse operation of adding 28 would be subtracting 28. And then we would get Friday's hours were just 4 hours on Friday. There's our solution here. And when we take it and substitute it back in, I'm just going to substitute it into this equation right there. So it'll be 4 plus 28 is equal to 32. And yes, we find out that we are equal to. I'm going to skip number 3. I'm going to let you try number 3, and I'm going to go to number 5. And if you want to, you can pause your computer right now, copy down number 4, and then do number 3. And the last one that we're going to talk about, let me get my pens out. My given, it said Billy sold half of his comic books to a store. So given, draw my line, sold half of the comic books to a store, now has 50. What's my unknown? How many did he start with? So I'm going to put that as a C, comic books. So if he sold half of them, and he now has 50, let's think in our head, would it be more or less? So our equation, we had a total of 50, or we have 50 now, and he sold half of them, sold half of the comic books. So 1/2 C is equal to 50. The way that we're going to solve this is we need to do our inverse operations. So when you have a fraction as your coefficient, you need to multiply by the reciprocal. So 2/1, multiply that, and that's going to cancel out. And then we multiply this by 2/1, put in parentheses. So we get C is equal to 50 times 2/1 would be 100. So he started with 100 comic books. Now, if we take this and we substitute it back in, we solved there. So to substitute back in, we're going to do 1/2 times 100. Does that equal 50? And half of 100 is 50. So yes, 50 equals 50. If you want to, you can pause this one down and then do this one on your own for practice. My recommendation is that you watch this video back, but go through the steps. Identify your given information. Identify your own unknown, what you are looking for. That is typically in the last sentence of the problem. Write your equation based on the given information and your unknown. Solve your equation and then substitute the problem back in. Substitute your answer back in to make sure that you're correct. I hope this helped with your solving word problems and gives you a pattern to follow. If you have any questions, again, I would watch this video back or go find another video on solving word problems that might be helpful for you. Have a great day.